Oh, there we are. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Welcome back to Sidetrack, your sci-fi TV and movie channel. I was waiting for that loop to time out real quick and looked up and we were already out of the loop. Well, good morning. How are you, Stormy? Oh, hold up. I had you muted just for everything in the background while we were running the loop. How are you? Good morning.
Well, I hope I'm doing okay. Can you hear me all right?
I hear you perfectly fine.
Okay, yeah. It might be time for me to upgrade my 10-year-old computer that I stream off of. It keeps crashing, and it's been that way for about the last year. So
yeah. Well, occasionally it's time. They've got a bunch of new fancy computers, so expect to spend a little extra, but you'll get some cool stuff out of it probably.
Yeah, I'll probably get another Mac. They last me forever, but this one's, I think I got it in 2013. It's still going. It won't stop.
Well, they got the ones that you can like touch screen now, and like they have a fancy like high computing laptops now. I'm not sure about Mac necessarily. I'm not the biggest Mac person, but there's so many good things now.
Well, this is a huge iMac I've got for video editing.
Okay.
And I need to get something that's similar for video because I can't. I mean, I can't. I mean, I've got a really small laptop for work. Well, it's not small. It's a Dell. Something.
A Dell.
Yeah, I got a Dell laptop for work, and it is too teeny tiny, and it's sizable. I mean, it's an engineering computer, but it's just too teeny. I need huge video space to edit video.
You need a proper rocket science applicable workshop.
Exactly. I need a rocket science computer, don't you think?
Disaster. Peter has run out of ketchup. It's too early to run out of ketchup in the morning. That's no. That's.
I DoorDash ketchup yesterday. I got 2 extra bottles. So I mean, you got to take this ketchup shit seriously. It'll get away from it.
Did you see David's little meme or graphic of you today? The one of me, I said, still pondering how SGU would have ended. We're always pondering how SGU would have ended.
Always pondering.
Will they do it? Come on. What else we got in here? Hello, Ian. I know Peter, Sarah, Mark, Michael, everybody up there. Always ready. All right, Michael. I like it. Where's Jay? Jay is not feeling well. He's under the weather today, so hopefully he'll be in the comments. Well, we'll see. But one way or another, we're letting him rest. Don't push the man too much.
We might as well be truthful. He's in jail for hooking again. I mean, come on. We all know it. He's appeared too many times on my credit card.
Speak of the devil, here he is. He's feeling poorly. Peter was going to have some fries. He's over at 5 p.m. Yep. It is that time on that side of the world. Orville, Scott Grimes apparently said at a convention that it's going into production in New Year, not official. Hey, maybe by the time I'm actually caught up with all of Star Trek and the Orville, I'll be able to get to it.
Would this be Orville Old Horizons, maybe?
Maybe. I feel like I think David said something about that on Sidetrack Facebook group whenever I said, what do we want to talk about in the morning? But I'm not positive. iMac, aren't those the ones that look like jelly-colored toilet seats?
And I love them.
Yeah. Jamie, do feel better. But yeah, what do we want to talk about? We don't really have too many set topics for today. David did comment a few things on the Facebook post that said, rumors about season 2 of The Acolyte, hopes for new Alien releases on the 16th of August for Romulus, how good the new Rings of Power trailer looks. Is it misleading? The new Batman series, of course, and House of the Dragon. Yeah, that's all good stuff to talk about.
Yeah. I'm caught up on House of Dragon, and I'm
looking
forward to Romulus. Huh?
You want to start with some House of the Dragon?
Start with the House of the Dragon. Go for it.
Okay. We've got House of the Dragon season finale, as Monk is saying right here. Are you pumped for it?
I am. It was okay. So we all heard about the kiss, right, in the previous episode.
Oh, and yes.
I guess that and since I was denied hot lesbianism on Acolyte, I guess that had to do me. But it wasn't enough lesbianism. I mean, that was just a peck on the lips. Shit, I see more at the mall.
Well, that's true. It's Game of Thrones, though. Give it a couple weeks. I'm sure they'll.
Yeah, but nobody died at the end of the kiss. That was the issue. I mean, Game of Thrones kind of shit. I mean, all lovely, languid kiss, and then the imp comes out of nowhere and stabs somebody in the back, or at least a crossbow or something. Come on.
I think we are about to get a lot of stabbing in the back on House of the Dragon. What side are you on? If you would have to say, are you Team Green or Team Black right now? Because I am succinctly Team Black. Did we lose Stormy for a second? He's crashing. He's crashing. Can y'all still hear Stormy? Because I lost him there for at least a little bit. Secular Monk is saying Hugh's one of my new favorite characters. Come on! That was so cool. I no spoilers. I haven't read House of the Dragon or Blood and Fire, whatever I'm trying to say. The Stormy's brain just broke. So I won't give any spoilers or anything because I know details. I took a Game of Thrones class in college. Yep, he'll come back in a second. And literally my only English credit in college is a Game of Thrones English class, which was great. Stormy's crashed. Yeah. So I won't give any spoilers or anything for this just because we've gone over some stuff. But Hugh, he's gonna come into play in a big way in a little bit. So I'm really pumped to see what happens there. He's crashed like the Hindenburg. We don't know if Stormy was Team Green or Team Black. Is he Targaryen Hightower or Targaryen Valerian? There we go. That's a better way of saying that. It seemed very toned down compared to the original. It's toned down in the violence and I guess the hypersexualization. I think that's probably better for like maybe not a bunch of rape scenes going on or rope scenes going on. I don't know if they're going to demonetize us for saying that word, but there's not that much going on of that in the show, or at least they're not like projecting it onto what we're watching or viewing as the audience. They might be implying it and stuff like that, but I feel like that's a lot better of an angle to go for. Of course, it was jarring and it got us to watch it originally in Game of Thrones, but pulling back a little bit is not the worst thing. And in the way of violence, I don't think it's necessarily less violent. It is per capita for damn sure, but there's still a very expensive show to make, and they're prioritizing that money going into like the dragons and the CG aspect of things. But yeah, there he is. There's the man. And Monk is saying Team Black all the way. Aemon's almost as bad as King Joffrey. Oh, Aemon might be worse, honestly. He's got Vhagar. But Stormy.
How do I look right now? Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you great. You look gorgeous.
I changed.
Got that New Mexico suntan going.
Oh, no shit. Yeah, I opened the blinds this morning.
I bet, man. So Team Black or Team Gray? What you thinking?
I'm definitely thinking Black.
Green, not gray. Sorry.
I'm definitely thinking Black. I'm thinking Black.
I'm with you. I think there is room for that to change in the future. Probably not this season, but in the probably in the next season.
Right.
But so far, Team Black. I think I'll still be on Team Black by the end of it because I know some of like the minor details that go on. I'm just so intrigued about how, Ryan Condal, because I forget Miguel Sapochnik is the guy that did the first season and is no longer involved. Condal is now the guy that's in charge. He's still an excellent filmmaker and television maker, writer, and everything in general. So I'm sure next season's going to be awesome. But it's going to be intense. This season was not as intense, but next season's going to be intense. Very intense.
It's like, the first season of Game of Thrones was intense, but it wasn't as intense as the later seasons. They really really got to it.
Seasons 5 and 6 particularly. That Hardhome and Battle of the Bastards are two of just the best episodes of TV.
Battle of the Bastards, man, that was just hard. I mean, loved it, but holy shit.
Okay.
Hard to watch.
So
I watched it a couple times, but it was just, ooh, shit. Oh my God.
That makes me
the camera, being swallowed by the bodies was so
so good,
aggressive, and I loved it.
So okay, you're working me into the perfect question for someone who loves Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Widely considered the greatest battle scene of all time. Since the last 20 plus years essentially, but largely considered since that 20 plus years, the Battle of Helm's Deep in Lord of the Rings: Two Towers has been considered like the best battle sequence. Just like the most realistic. You're following these people. Hey, we gotta jump right there. You're too tiny. You can't jump. We're throwing you. Obvious little fun things, but like everything there is like realistic in a sense. Obviously, we're in a fantasy world, and so is Game of Thrones. But Battle of the Bastards, when it happened, joined the conversation of best battle scene or battle sequence on screen ever. Which one would you prefer?
Well, if you're looking for, well, it's definitely, I think, the best battle scene to date for television. There was for a television production.
Easily,
and Helm's Deep was able to do more things because it was a film production, and it was. I mean, dude, it was 3 hours plus if you get the extended edition, and I think from just the amount of work that went into it, a lot of it was physical effects. I mean, there was a lot of digital effects in both of them, but God, I mean, both of them are in the top 10 of all time, And,
easily.
I think, where Helm's Deep was two forces, the Rohirrim versus, Saruman. But Battle of Bastards was just two guys that was destined to go at it, And it was, it's so hard for me to pick, which each had each of them had something special about them.
That's for damn sure.
Awesome. That was just awesome. I mean, a bitch about all you want about the last season of Game of Thrones. I thought it was still excellent. I mean, compared to, when Sansa creeps up on just fucking, I can hear Gimli saying, that just counts as one, But I think they were both awesome. They're both awesome, and it's really hard to compare because they're,
I would say Battle of the Bastards is probably the best. It's either something in Battle of the Bastards or I don't know a specific. I had to rewatch Band of Brothers, but it'd have to be something like from Band of Brothers or the Pacific or something like that.
Oh God, oh my God, right? If we're going like historical drama, oh God,
I'm just thinking that's like battle sequences, put to TV and put to film.
We're just talking about just battle sequence, right? A battle, a war film. Saving Private Ryan, the opening of Saving Private Ryan has to be all-time best battle film ever laid down in a camera. It just, whether it's fantasy or real life, that Spielberg put together such a fucking guttural piece of film.
Mm-hmm.
And, the guys that were there said, oh yeah, that brings back memories. It was very, the filmmakers worked really hard to get it to look real.
Yeah, very.
And that was the terrifying thing about it.
Very visceral, Peter.
It was, I've met guys that fought in that. And they're always low key. They don't want to talk about it, but they will relate. Oh yeah, I remember this. I remember a time like this from this movie, and they'll talk a little bit about it. Then they'll say, they never start out with, "Oh, I was in this war, and this is what happened." They always relate it to something that was already on film or on a TV show or documentary. Even let's see, Peter Jackson. He did it was a documentary of World War II. He took a lot of war footage that was black and white, and he colorized it. And it was the drama He was illustrating the drama between black and white and color, and I think I can't remember the name of it. It's They Won't Be Forgotten, or let me look it up here.
Is that what his project that like got him prepared to make the Beatles like recolorize and do that big old documentary?
Maybe. They Shall Not Grow Old.
They shall not grow old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and it's a documentary about the First World War, not the Second World War. My apologies. But it was just so. Then it turned real. I mean, it went from black and white, to color. This jittery kind of Bolaflex kind of film, right? And then he smoothed it all out and colorized it, and it was, for whatever reason, it was much more impactful, and you felt, their suffering throughout the whole thing. I mean, it was just,
Okay, we're gonna get to the bottom of this.
Thank God.
Battle of the Bastards, Helm's Deep, 300's Final Stand, Saving Private Ryan. Someone said Endgame. Oh, Monk said Endgame. Would it be the final battle of Endgame?
Yeah, you're gonna have to narrow that down. Which?
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm final battle. Because I kind of agree with you. You just made me think of it whenever you said it. Was Saving Private Ryan's probably the best battle film. That maybe 1917. There are a few others that like focus on specific points.
1917 was good, but yeah.
Saving Private Ryan's most visceral, and it has the best battle like sequences. Oh, final battle, Monk, awesome. Perhaps best to stick to fictional battles. Well, we're just talking about battles that are put to screen. We're not.
Yeah, battles on screen. War films.
And
definitely, Two Towers was a war film. It was a fantasy war film, but it was a war film.
Very much so. And Endgame. What about that final battle sequence in Infinity War too? I think I like that one better than Endgame. Realistically, it's not as like potent and not as, I guess, saturated with characters and color, but I think it's more visceral.
I mean, it was. The final.
When he's ripping through witches and ripping headstones out of people.
It was. It was there was some emotional parts to it. There were some emotional parts. The people that's all the group, the Avengers and their allies, just going after and helping each other even when they fall.
Mm-hmm.
The brotherhood,
which I feel like you feel that so much more in Infinity War, because you're watching your people get defeated one by one. We've spent a decade and a half with these characters. We're not a cinematic world or universe that's ever been done like it. We're like, oh, we're gonna see them do a bunch of cool stuff, and then this movie we're seeing them just brutalized, over and over and over. And obviously Tony at the end of Endgame is very emotional, and that's a very strong point. But shit, at Infinity War, I feel like at the end is so much more emotional because you're going through it with all your characters. It doesn't matter if you like Tony or not. Like your favorite character is getting screwed somehow, either dead, or wishes they were, I think that might, personally, I would put that one there. But what are people in the comments saying? Let's discuss this. We need to figure out right here, right now, what the best battle sequence ever put to film.
Yeah, we got to ring this out. Let me get. Yeah, I got to get my comments going.
Ooh, Monk. Apocalypse Now could be another one. The Ride of the Valkyries. Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Will we talk Orville today, by the way? We can, totally. I'm not familiar with the Orville, but I will prompt conversation if someone gives me something good to prompt. Too many unkillable characters in Marvel film. That's true. And that's why I think Infinity War is the better one sequence-wise at the end of the day, because there is more heart to it, more emotion, and even though you're losing Tony freaking Stark in Endgame, you lose half of everybody you love and been loving for a decade and a half in Infinity War, and you don't know exactly how that's going to play out in Endgame. Of course we do now, but we waited for a year. We're like, what are they going to do? Time jump, timey-wimey stuff, make it work. It worked out. Shoot, I think Infinity War is the better sequence there. So that can we cross the final battle in Endgame off of our best list? Endgame's 2 over the top. I'm with you.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
All right, Endgame is off the list. Now we have Infinity War, Saving Private Ryan, D-Day, 300 Final Stand, Helm's Deep, and Battle of the Bastards. And I guess we just added Apocalypse Valkyrie. Apocalypse Now, Valkyrie. Ride of the Valkyries. Which is so damn good.
Okay, so have you seen the documentary behind that film, Into the Heart of Darkness?
I have not.
It is. You watch that movie and you just know the production had to be crazy, right? You've got to go watch.
First time that an entire documentary was recolorized, right?
What was?
Wasn't that the first time that an entire documentary, or not? I guess an entire documentary had utilized recolorized footage. I guess would be the proper way of saying it, right? Like completely utilized. Like it's like it. Instead of being a black and white or something like that, it is.
It was in color. This is In the Heart of Darkness was produced by. It may have been Coppola's ex-wife.
Oh, really?
And it's just it's cut scenes. It's recordings from that of Coppola on the phone with the studios. It was talking about the conspiracy to hide the heart attack. It was just it was an insane production, but you didn't know it was this crazy.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'm definitely down to watch it. I've always meant to watch the Peter Jackson recolorized Beetle one, so that'd be fun to do.
Yeah.
Saving Private Ryan because it's a battle that really happened. That's not the question though. It's the best battle sequence on film. It doesn't matter if it's fictional or non-fictional. It's more like what is the most entertaining, badass, and just overall like what is the best,
Yeah.
Apocalypse Now literally drove Coppola mad.
Yeah. I mean, there's pictures with him on the gun to his head. I mean, he went there. I mean, he kind of needed some help.
I was literally thinking, how long was it between the next film after Apocalypse Now? Because he did a smaller film, right? And it was like 7 or 8, 9, 10 years after.
Something like he had some downtime.
Ooh, see, I love Gladiator, and it's got great fight scenes, but I don't know. Perhaps Carthage.
That's a fight scene. It's for one thing, it's a recreated stunt. Yeah.
Damn good. Oh, good point. Thank you, David. I do need to take the banner off that's saying we're starting soon. Welcome to Side Direct banner instead. Thank you, David. But I do love Carthage and all the fighting and even the smaller battle scenes in there. I just don't know if they stand up to all of these. Bob, End of Army of Darkness. As much as it's as great as it is, I don't know if it's one of the best battle sequences of all time. Okay, I'd say Private Ryan was the most disturbing and impactful. Okay, I'd say Battle of the Bastards is more disturbing in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Battle of the Bastards was really, dude, that was dark.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's. Can we cross anything else out? I think honestly, as much as kind of in the same vein as Gladiator, I think we can cross 300 Final Stand off. Like, not because it's not a badass battle, but it is awesome, and we see a lot of cool stuff. It's just not like it doesn't grab you, right?
Right.
Is that consensus? Are we crossing 300 out of here?
No, I think I think we need to, because it is a it's definitely top 20 or whatever, but it is not. I think we've already got others on our list that beat it. I think you've got for movies you've got a top Helm's Deep. For television you've got a top Battle of the Bastards, and if it's not reaching those plateaus,
Yeah. How about the Battle of the End of Soldier with Kurt Russell? Like, it's still great. I just don't know if the battle scenes we've talked about so far, Battle of the Bastards, Helm's Deep, D-Day, Saving Private Ryan, and Ride of the Valkyries are the ones we have left. Those are our 4.
For me, it was so unimpactful. I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's a great sequence and it's a great scene, and there are a lot of great sequences and scenes, but we're talking about like the cream of the crop here.
Yeah,
we're trying to figure which one is the creamiest of that cream, So okay, can we cross any of these next 4 off? Ride of the Valkyries, Final Battle of Infinity War, D-Day, Helm's Deep, Battle of Bastards.
Ride of the Valkyries.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. As awesome as it is, I feel like Battle of the Bastards, Helm Deep, Saving Private Ryan, and Infinity War have all utilized parts of that to make their stuff better. And obviously, you borrow from the best stuff, but
yeah,
they were able to make it their own and further that. I'm not sure that this is a best. They all hit different notes. Of course, yeah, we're just reaching a consensus. It's just what us and our little interweb friends right here are thinking at the moment,
Actually, we're just trying to stir up shit to get clicks. That's all we're doing.
Oh, but of course. Monk's saying Apocalypse Now is the Vietnam War movie. Its DNA is in the others. Exactly, and I think that's kind of what I was just trying to say was like, it is amazing, but everything else took what it started with and used it as their framework and groundwork to make something even better.
Yeah, I will. I grew up watching the Vietnam War on television, the nightly Cronkite report on it, and it definitely, Apocalypse Now definitely matches the madness of that time. It was an absolute fucking waste. 55,000 dead American soldiers, probably millions more in the whole wide Southeast Asian conflict. From Laos, Cambodia,
in the grand scheme of it,
Pol Pot and all that disaster. It was, and so it was. We've seen wars, right, that are more contemporary, but there was a flavor of madness in the Vietnam War that I've yet to see.
It traumatized a generation. Worse almost than World War II and World War I did in a way.
World War II, World War One, those were straightforward wars. Grab that hill, get this field, make it to the river. This was just, and you waited until you try to march through and get to whatever your objective was, and if you're running into the resistance, then you had a shootout.
Yeah.
In Vietnam, and during these battles, you had 2 or 3 days of respite. Or sometimes a week of just resting and, trying to get over all the trauma. But Vietnam, you went out daily on a patrol looking for somebody to kill.
And at any point of any of that patrol, anybody's legs could have been blown off from mines. Anybody shot, sniped, stabbed. Somebody pops out of a freaking hole in the ground. Like, there's a dozen things that could happen. 24 things that could just happen. Also, you're in the frickin' jungles of Vietnam. Like, nature can get to you just as easily. Disease, animal biting you, etc., etc. It's wild. The Vietnam was... grammar. The Vietnam had the draft and the protest of the war. You didn't have that with World War II. Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
People lined up around the block to go to sign up and serve for World War II.
At least not at that
Vietnam,
scale.
they dragged them from their houses.
Like, legitimately. is insane. Ooh, David. Oh, David. What about Hacksaw Ridge? That's actually the whole movie. The whole movie. That one might be in battle with Saving Private Ryan for the best actual like battle movie, honestly.
My memory of Hacksaw Ridge, it was like let's have a Vietnam movie with just as an excuse to have gratuitous battle scenes. You know,
Wait, say that one more time. Sorry.
I think from my recollection of the film Hacksaw Ridge, it was just like it was a gratuitous reason just to have battle scenes.
Oh, because Private Dawes was going in and saving people. He wasn't actually ever fighting in any of those scenes, of course, because he's dragging Vince Vaughn's body or anybody else's body to safety while they're having to shoot for him, and it is visceral. It is violent, very visceral violence, but it's very purposeful.
If we're looking at Hacksaw Ridge, and talking about Vietnam, I think one that was even more poignant was Full Metal Jacket.
Oh. But is there a battle in there? Battle sequence in Full Metal Jacket? The whole movie's just amazing.
Well, just in terms of a war film, I think. There wasn't one singular build-up battle. It was just another journey into madness that illustrated just how screwed up the Vietnam War was, and this was Kubrick's take on it. And I think we're closer to a more accurate portrayal of Vietnam War with Full Metal Jacket than we are with Hacksaw Ridge. Even though Hacksaw Ridge is still
Hacksaw is World War II.
And it's World War II.
But Monk just put in Platoon, and the Stanleys are saying Troy with Brad Pitt and Eric Bana. Troy has some great, because the things that stand out in Troy are more like the fight sequences, maybe.
Yeah.
There are a couple of damn good battle sequences. We need a countdown timer. Tell me how to put that on StreamYards, because that would actually be great for the watch party aspect of things too. And
yeah,
even Chaz and Matt, our resident IT fellas, they don't know how to put one on here or haven't figured it out yet. So we're working on it. But yes, 20 more likes, not just 20 in general, but 20 more likes. And Jamie's gonna come on here and talk a little Orville for a minute, which the man's not feeling well. He's under the weather, and he's willing to come talk Orville for y'all. It's a like. Which, you know what, we could just do the fancy way of telling you to like and just say. That had to, I would like to thank you, Peter. Good man. All right, well, okay, I love Platoon and I love Troy, but I want to add Platoon in there. But anyway, let's cut what we have already. We have 4 left. We have Saving Private Ryan, Helm's Deep, Battle of the Bastards, and Infinity War. As we've laid out some good reasons why Infinity War is as good as it is and has the emotional and the impact, yada yada. But Battle of the Bastards, Helm Deep, and Saving Private Ryan, D-Day.
Yeah, I think if we're going to eliminate one, we're going to look at Infinity War.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, David, Flags of Our Fathers or Letters from Iwo Jima. Dude. Oh.
Those are also,
so good.
Let's not kid ourselves. There's some really good, war films out there that's been done in the last 20, 30 years. And
all right, well, we need to bookmark this one. We have 3 more. 3 more, and then let's talk some Orville. But we need to cut these 3 real quickly. Saving Private Ryan, D-Day, Helm's Deep, Battle of the Bastards. We need help in chat. What are y'all thinking? We need to cut this down. And we might have one person to help us cut this down just a little bit real quick. And whenever we have that person come down, we need to have them come in there and say, we're cutting this. And what are we cutting? Are we cutting Helm's Deep, Battle of the Bastards, or D-Day? Jamie, what are we cutting?
I reckon D-Day.
All right. We're going fantasy with it, and I honestly do agree. I'm with you.
And they're epic. They're what they were, though, weren't they? You know what I mean? It's like Battle of the Bastards. We've never seen anything like that on screen before. And I am on my phone, so sorry, it's going to move around a bit. So yeah, that's what I'm going with.
I think I'm with you because Battle of the Bastards took what Helm's Deep did, and it obviously isn't like set up on a castle or anything, but where Helm's Deep drowns you out with all the orcs, they do that with a smaller number of people and like just make it feel like this is happening. And they literally put the camera guys in the middle of just getting smacked around by everybody. And I think the only reason D-Day can be taken down is because it's like it has great sequences of battle, but they are broken up because it's such a battle-oriented film. They're broken up with a lot of dialogue where Helm's Deep and Battle of the Bastards are fighting. And there's still dialogue, but
they're more impactful. Anyway.
Well, and for Battle of the Bastards, we've spent seasons getting used to the two characters.
Battle of the Bastards.
And I think because we know the background of Jon Snow and and then Dickface. I'm blanking on
Ramsay Bolton.
Ramsay Bolton, yeah. That little
bundle of joy. Really a bundle of joy.
I think because we're so used to have so much emotional background between Snow and Bolton. Bolton's sadism and torture, especially of Sansa.
Well, Sansa and Theon. I mean, Sansa got it bad, but and she got it really bad. But the only person that got it worse was Theon. Like,
yeah. Weak. So anyway, I think because we've had so many episodes of their liking them or hating them and their emotional turmoil and their background stories, I think you just know that he shouldn't have run into the damn field. It's like all the viewers across all the continents of planet Earth said, "Don't go in the damn field," but he went. What did he do? He went into the damn field. And I think that's what makes it work more than Helm's Deep. It is because Helm's Deep is a classic battle that was based on a classic battle that Tolkien actually lived through during World War One. And so those are just two armies clashing. This we have two individuals clashing with huge armies and huge backstories of both of the.
I'm sorry, this comment got me off guard.
I can't. My phone is too close. I can't
unsee it. Oh my god!
The fact you had to put the glasses back on for it.
He's gonna log off now.
I haven't watched that show because it was awful. So I don't know what character is on about.
Oh, Jesus.
The Green Lady.
Well, you weren't in any lesbian parts. So disappointing.
Oh God.
You saying I'm what is it? DEI? DEI? You think I'm a DEI?
Not even a DEI hire. You're a nepotism hire because you're the wife of Leslie Headland.
And doesn't DEI stand for Don Jr., Eric and Ivanka?
I think it's the exact opposite, but
they are what is it? DAE, dumbass employers. Junior in particular. Oh my God, that man's a dumbass.
Oh God.
I wouldn't say so at all, Monk. As much as I love Game of Thrones and as much as House of the Dragon as well, and I know Stormy and Jay love both as well. I think, especially up top, you got two heavy-hitting Lord of the Rings folks. Lord of the Rings, I'm always going to prefer over Game of Thrones or House of the Dragon. I will always watch it first before I decide to watch that. But battle sequences, Battle of the Bastards wins. It's just that good.
And also, the Helm's Deep is just it's the second act. To be honest, it's a second act, and the real battle for Lord of the Rings is in Return of the King.
Mm-hmm. That's the truth.
And it's we'll all get teary-eyed when Aragorn says for Frodo and runs off to commit suicide, but unfortunately wins the battle.
So good. Unfortunately,
wins the battle.
we need more Viggo Mortensen in everything.
We do.
We really do. I'm still. We don't have to jump on this because we talked about it last week. But the RDJ thing's so dumb, and I get Cillian Murphy. Everybody wants Cillian Murphy as Doom, and yes, it'd be amazing. But give me a Viggo Mortensen Doctor Doom. It'd be so good. It'd be so good.
It's gonna be better than we can do a whole video just talking about how stupid Marvel's.
Yeah.
And it's one step forward, 5 steps back at the moment with these idiots. But I don't get it.
All media. I can't say that. All media reviews podcast. There we go. All media reviews podcast. Right, but I'm still waiting for that deleted scene or remake scene of the battle for the Shire. They filmed it. They have it. It's in their hundreds of hours of
yes. Yes.
Old PJ's always talked about that 25th anniversary edition. Give us the goodness. Give us the goodness. Come on. Yes, this is whenever everyone's feeling well and we plan it out well, we're going to be having it soon. But also, we could totally do some battle debate scenes, some stuff like that. Anyway, this we can get going back on this in a second. We just need to cross our T's and dot our I's real quick. Jamie, you're here to talk some Orville. What the hell is going on?
I literally got a couple of messages while everyone was on about it, but I got a message like 3 o'clock in the morning. So Scott Grimes, who plays the ginger pilot, whose name's gone out of my head. Anyway, my favourite character in the Orville. He was at New York Comic Con, literally yesterday, and according to several sources of people that were in the audience, he dropped a bomb that Orville season 4 is going to go into production in the new year, 2025, to be on our screens by the end of next year. So on our screens by end of 2025, 2026. Now, there's been a couple of people have said that's not what you said. So, and nothing has been officially announced. But the interesting thing is nothing has been denied either. So, 100% Scott Grimes was not supposed to say this.
Yeah.
But the background basically comes down to when New Horizons came out, wasn't it 2 years ago now? 2023, wasn't it?
Gosh, yeah.
Early 2023, late 2022. That Gordon, thank you. Gordon. That basically it never quite got the viewing figures that the budget demanded that it should get. A really popular show, but it never quite, it never got into the Nielsen rating list. It's just not that big a show. So Hulu basically said 18 months ago now to Seth, look, we want more Orville, but we want a show every year or at least every 18 months, and we've got to put the budget's got to come in lower. Apparently Seth had absolutely no problem with lowering the budget, but he doesn't want to let go of the show. It's his baby. So they were talking about, look, do we bring in other writers? Do we, do we get rid of your character? Do we bring in another cast? And do we basically do, a reboot sort of thing? And those discussions were happening. Hulu then decided they weren't going to move ahead with it. They basically decided we're not going to do it because we need a show every year, or it's not worth doing. And the actors were starting to get obviously pissed off with the actress's name that plays the commander. I'm sorry, guys. I've got a headache, so my brain isn't working. I know
it's Adrian Padalecki.
Blackie. Yeah. Oh, she's brilliant, actually. But she's come out. She's basically said, "I don't want to do it." And the main thing is that Seth doesn't want to let go of it. He really loves the show. The last thing I heard was about 6 months ago, Disney were really pushing for it. And we know, obviously, the Disney buying Hulu is supposedly going to get finally sorted out at the end of this year. Disney want to do it because Seth is doing loads of projects with like NBC and Universal and stuff, and they want to keep old Seth and they want to keep Seth happy. They'd like to do other stuff with Seth in the future. So they see the way of sort of keeping Seth in-house, as it were, was to keep doing the Orville. but they want to get back to something more like Orville seasons 1 and 2 that was a bit more humorous and things.
Okay.
But that's the last thing I heard. I've literally had a couple of people drop, a couple of the people that get to talk to us over here at SciTrek, saying that this has caused many phone calls, because a couple of people I speak to, like in and around agents fees and things, and the one guy was saying in particular, I don't know anything about this. If this is true, this is really left field, and they've kept it very quiet. So it's either possible that Scott Grimes has dropped a bit more than he was supposed to, and they're just talking about going in production in January.
Well, Peter and All Media Reviews podcast have both said Ted. Do you think that's causing an issue with just scheduling and trying to figure everything out in general?
It's not just Ted. Ted season 2 definitely happening. Steph MacFarlane's got something. I'm sorry, I'm going to try to remember this. If you look at his IMDb, he's got several projects on the go. The big one's like a comic book adaptation that he's been trying to get off the ground for ages, and he's doing with Peacock. And he's going to be starring that as well as he's writing. He's doing The Naked Gun reboot. He's got loads of projects coming up. So the compromise was going to be that Seth would sort of co-write, and they'd bring another writer to support him. His character would take a step back from the show, and they would try to keep going without Seth as a lead. And again, one of the things that I actually was told a little while ago was that normally, if like the lead actor leaves the show, there'd be concerns about it. But there was a lot of people that said that, like, actually Seth's character isn't that pivotal. There's one argument to say he's actually not that good an actor, but I'm not. That's not me saying that. That was something that someone said to me. And another one's just that his character just isn't, it's not like Kirk in Star Trek, it's not like that sort of character. And actually, the show has got legs and potentially could move on without it if they cast the replacement right. So I think that's possible. That's what they'll go with. But whatever's going on, I think Scott Grimes has spoken way too soon. They can't deny it because it's probably true. That at least they're talking about it, but they can't confirm it because I don't think it's finalised. But we'll see. If something comes out this week, I think it'll be that they're just talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, couldn't they just do what Stargate did with O'Neill in season 8, make him a recurring character?
I think that'd be the idea. Yeah, he'd either get promoted into an admiral, or there'd be something else. But I think that's the most likely, is that he'll be promoted. If you think about the Orville, and his character has been so central in things like basically saving humanity in the last couple of seasons, that him getting promoted wouldn't be, unrealistic. And then he'd come back as a recurring character.
Okay.
I think that's possible.
Because I was just on his IMDb, and the dude has a lot going on. Yeah. Like, Naked Gun's in post-production, but he's filming currently an untitled Carl Sagan film. And this is just what's currently in... I won't say... Okay, there's a few things that, like, a treatment of and development unknown. But the things that he's actually actively working on are The Winds of War, The Shrouded College, Smokey and the Bandit TV show.
That's the comic book project thing, The Shrouded College. That's he's been desperate to do for like 2 decades. That really is something he's really excited about, apparently.
Okay. Because, I mean, Smokey and the Bandit, if he's doing Naked Gun and Smokey and the Bandit, I don't need more of either one. But it doesn't make me not happy hearing those words again. Like, obviously I didn't grow up with when those came out, but I grew up with them nonetheless, and I'm still just, that's just fun.
He's only writing Smoking the Bandit, isn't he? Is he writing it?
It says he's executive producer on it.
Yeah. He's I don't think he's appearing in The Naked Gun either, is he?
It doesn't say he's an actor. It says writer and executive producer. Yeah. Okay. Robert Levy, Hal Needham, and David Gordon Green are the Smokey and the Bandit writers. Cool.
I always loved the Smoking Man. The first one, anyway. The second one wasn't so good, and the third one was terrible. But love the first one. But anyway, guys, sorry, I wanted to jump on and just sort of like give you an update on what's going on. That is interesting. I'll keep going on, but I do feel a bit sick, and I'm really struggling looking at the camera. My glasses want to be distanced, so I'm really blurry with them on, and it's a little bit better with them off, but my headache is just...
Go get well.
Yeah, get the feeling better. That's first and foremost.
I'm gonna go eat, and then maybe I don't want to throw up. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Peter.
Yeah.
Throw it before you eat, so your food stays down.
Yeah.
I'll try and find out what's going on with the Orville over the next few days, anyway, guys, and we'll drop the video. Find out. Just want to desperately want back. Especially with B5 going nowhere, Battlestar Galactica going nowhere, Stargate, God knows what we're at with that now. So we need a sci-fi show to actually get on our screens and do well. And then maybe studios will have enough confidence to push on.
That, plus the expanses, we can't find a home. There's a lot of
expanses happening now, man. The last thing I heard was that it was only Apple that were interested in there. They've gone cold on the idea.
Damn it. I really love this show.
Well, they just wanted to do something that was different to what had come before, and I think they just couldn't figure out how to do it. So they just sort of... But it's one of those things that, again, it's the bloody strikes. It just took the wind out of the sails of so many projects. And now they've got the problem that, obviously, all the studios are trying to cut budgets. All the studios have now got congested schedules. Because they've got to decide, basically, to do the stuff that we were supposed to be doing a year ago, before the strikes happened, or do we do the stuff that we were supposed to be doing now? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So they're having to pick and choose. So loads of projects are just getting either cancelled or put back again because the schedule just all condensed. And then you've got loads of studio space that's loads of these different studio projects that are just sort of coming online now that will allow a bit more, but it's not just money. Anyway, that's the point. But we'll have to see. Right, I am going to go now, guys, because it really does feel like there's a nail sticking in the back of my head and it's making me feel a bit uncomfortable.
Of course, but
everybody,
there's always singing Klingons a new track for you.
There's always singing Klingons. No, there isn't. I will tell you what, I will leave you with this, though. I would love to know, guys, after all the people that's in Section 31, and you know if you watch the videos regular, I was really looking forward to Section 31. Even I am sat here going, I don't want to watch that Section 31 movie. I think it's going to be terrible. After watching the trailer. Trailers are supposed to excite you about a movie, not do the exact opposite.
That's not good. That's not good.
Rubbish. Absolutely rubbish. So anyway, bye-bye, guys. See you next
Feel
week.
better.
Take care.
DeVito and Vernestra. Goodbye. Sentai Ranger Danny. How are you doing? Or Donnie, not Danny. Sorry. I know you. I know Donnie. I see him all the time. He's always talking on John Campia things. I need to actually like pay attention while or not pay attention. I'm paying attention. I just don't type in there because I'm usually running around the house doing things. But happy Power Rangers month, man. I know you're a huge
Power Rangers month.
Hope everyone's well, despite Hector David Jr. wanted for elder abuse. The Power Rangers should not be abusing the elderly. That's not very Power Ranger of them. You know? Section 31 is something, but it certainly doesn't look like Star Trek. Interesting. So, okay. Speaking of just those timers from earlier that were mentioned, please help us. Yes, right, Monk. He's always on R&B as well. That's right. He's always on R&B. That's where I see him more so than I guess Campia. Which I see you commenting on that as well, and most of the time I just have it on in the background while I'm running around. But the Campia would never come on anybody else's podcast or show or anything like that. R&B is somebody that I would love for us to all talk to. I think we'd all be good buddies, you know? I've also had a couple conversations with him before. Not like anything that he would remember, but like Twitter conversations where I was like, I got a script. It was, you know, and he was like, send it. I actually like the idea of everything you're saying, all that kind of stuff. But, you know, I still haven't been able to get the script to him because the guy that wrote the script needs to make it from a play into a film. So anyway, long story short, yada, yada, yada. But hail R&B. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Indeed, hail R&B.
Hail R&B.
You know, the Viceroy of Verisimilitude. The what else? He's got a bunch of good little nicknames. All the people give him. More alliteration heavy than our old Danny Gandalf or Gandalf DeVito or Vernestra or butt plugs. But you know, he's got plenty of those himself. They're just fun. Good community of folk. You guys finally killed off Jamie? Well, I guess we all saw that coming. Well, Matt actually sent we sent Matt as an assassin. Whenever he said he felt like he had a nail in the back of his head, that was actually Matt back there with a little tiny hammer. Just working at him, you know. Neil Breen's gonna star in and direct the next Star Wars series. What? Am I thinking about the same person? Hold up, Neil Breen.
I need to look that one up.
Here, I'll put him up on the screen. Yeah, he's 65. How? I don't. Maybe. I haven't heard anything about that. But Neil Breen. I don't think so. I don't think so.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Did you know it's R&B's birthday? Oh, I did not. We everybody go to that channel and say happy birthday later on today. There's almost a guarantee someone's going to be streaming over there. The pharaoh of physical media. That man, that's the truth. That's the truth. 65 isn't too old, but he has 5 years left in him. It's not too old by any means, but I think it's too old to start a or try to continue a franchise of any point. It's I don't know, to be the star of the movie and it not be like if he's the star, there's going to be a younger version of him that they do flashbacks for all you know.
I mean, geez, I'm 61. Does that mean I got 4 years left? Clutch the pearls.
He's saying 9 years left of starring power. You know? Peter saying Apple TV's kicking bottom with their shows. Really? I always thought their shows were really well done. Monarch, I think, is their weakest show they've ever done. And it's the most expensive. But honestly, I think Apple's killing it with their TV shows. They just don't get the viewership that, not that they deserve, but that, like, they want. Or that necessitates, or that, I guess, their series necessitate to continue. Apple's got a lot of money to toss at them, but even they're like, all right, we're not making much back, you know? So they've kind of lessened on that front. Oh, God. No, not 9 years. Yes, Stormy only has 4 years left. Better eat all the cheese you want while you can.
Oh, my God.
Kicking Bottom's good. It's from Red Dwarf. They're killing it. I still, that Boldly Going Nowhere, that sci-fi pilot from the It's Always Sunny folks. I wish we would have had it. Can we still have it? If the Orville doesn't get picked up, It's Always Sunny has a great working relationship with FX and Hulu. Can we do Boldly Going Nowhere, please? But yeah. Sorry, keep going.
I mean, it would be neat, don't you think?
That would have been very neat. Please. And it'd be hilarious. All right, let's jump in. What else was oh yeah, okay. Rumors about Acolyte season 2. At D23, everyone's saying that it is going to be announced. Does that excite you, or does that just make you roll your frickin' eyes and bang your head up against a wall? Because that's what it does me. It's not that I hated the series or anything like that. I just don't think it's good enough series writing wise to necessitate a season 2. Actually, they should never have put this to screen with the writing that was there. And then, just from a business standpoint, that makes less than sense.
I think there's so many other story opportunities out there. We don't have to revisit it. I hope it's not too controversial, but it's like, okay, fine. Maybe we could use our writing efforts better someplace else.
Even for those that like, I mean, I think nobody really. There's a very, very small minutia of people that were like, we love the Acolyte. Then the rest of people were like, okay, this is not very good, but all right, it's Star Wars. We started it. We'll finish it. It's not very good. And then the rest of the louder folk are the lesbian space witches, all that kind of stuff, which we won't jump into. But
let's jump into the lesbian space creators. Yeah.
The positive people for Acolyte are maybe the 1% of the 1% for like how many people actually enjoyed it, because it's not well written, it's not well executed, any of it. If we're gonna retread something, let's go retread Boba Fett. Do that right this time, or something like that. We don't need a second season for this whenever it's gotten half of the viewership of Ahsoka.
Okay, so here's something that is controversial. At the quality that we had the Book of Boba Fett, right? The quality that we had for the Book of Boba Fett, I would rather have another season of that than the first season of Acolyte.
1,000 times. 1,000 times.
You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I mean, I'd rather have more Boba at the level of Boba we got, because we got a lot of the Raiders in there, and we'd never really seen their backstory. And I thought the strongest thing about Boba Fett was the Tusken Raiders.
In a big way.
Backstory, and how Tatooine used to be a water world and now is a desert planet. And the continual raping of Tatooine is because why it's a desert. And those people were early on, a seagoing culture, and how it totally wiped out. And that was much more interesting, I thought, than one story about one fallen Jedi. Oh, that would have been a spoiler. Sorry.
Oops.
We're talking light spoilers. So if you really want to bear down and get everything you can out of Acolyte, and you haven't seen it yet, this is a spoiler territory. So just watch yourself.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was the ceremonies and the rituals of the Tusken Raiders. I thought was a really strong part. I mean, it was like everyone crapped on the Solo, a Star Wars story. I think could be one small change, and I think Solo would have been so much better. And that's if they changed the title to Chewie, a Star Wars story.
Well, honestly,
am I right? We got much more backstory of Chewie than we did of Han Solo, because we've already known so much about Han Solo. We didn't know dick about Chewie. He was just a big,
Maybe in an unpopular opinion. Oh wait, okay, real quick. Monarch was greenlit for a season 2 and is currently in production. Cool.
Oh, okay.
I still think it's their Apple TV's weakest show, but I think they have a great enough cast and crew that they can utilize it better. They just need to not bring it small, bring it home instead of make it so monster-versy. One or the other, I don't know, or put a lot more monsters in it. Anyway, that's a whole other topic. Oh god, that distracted me. Acolyte, but
hey, bring back Andor. No shit.
Bring back Andor, please.
Bring back Andor.
Solo. Okay, I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion or maybe just something that nobody really says, and once people thought about, they would like it. I love Ron Howard. I adore Ron Howard. I think Ron Howard can make good Star Wars films, and he's probably one of the filmmakers that would be poised to do so. And Bryce Dallas Howard, his daughter, she's one of the best working Star Wars directors right now. She makes all the good episodes of TV and in the TV in the season most of the time. That being said, I think Solo hurt because Ron Howard came in to help, and he made that movie a lot more milquetoast. He made a lot more milquetoast white dude Wonder Bread kind of thing, and was like, let me just bring in my perfect Hollywood formula instead of letting the two Phil Lord and Chris Miller, Miller. If and I get it that they're not the style of people that Kathleen Kennedy works with, but she hired them to do a job. They were willing to complete that job. They should have been allowed to finish that job. I think they would have had a much more. I think the movie probably would have gone in different directions to try to maybe swing a little bit wider and a little bit harder on certain topics. But I think that would have been the better film that actually said something Because the biggest thing about Solo is it doesn't say anything. You just get you're just going through exposition almost for an hour and a half, 2 hours. Whereas it would have been good to be like, okay, this is why Han Solo's the way he is. Not, all right, we're walking through the frickin' spaceport and the guy says, oh, you're Solo. Your last name's now Solo. Like, it's just exposition. It's not like we need to see something happen.
Well, it's I think for whatever reason, Kennedy didn't see Solo as shaping up to be. There were concerns on the set, or whatever rumor you want to believe. At the end of the day, she did fire the first two directors, and as I understand it, Ron Howard came in, but he still had to. As I understand from the contract, he still, and interviews from him, he had to use as much of the film material as he could, and the amount of studio notes that he had on the film was equated to like the size of an Encyclopedia Britannica, a whole big, which no one knows what the fuck that is anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
It was, and I was going to say, the size of 2 New York City phone books, but no one knows what that shit is anymore.
Yellow pages.
2 terabytes of Word documents. How about that? 2 terabytes of Word documents. And it was really restricted. Because it was already over budget, and I think they wanted just something to come in at budget. And we all know that Howard is really good at managing budgets. He wouldn't have gotten to where he was without that. If you ever took his master class, he talks about budgets a little bit, I think. So I think he was just. He was. I think he felt that if he didn't do it, it'd be worse than it was. He still has a lot of loyalty and allegiance to George Lucas, and he made the best of a shit sandwich. I don't think he was given free. I don't think he's given free reign, because he had to use as much of the shot film as he could, and he had 2 terabytes of studio notes, and it was just. I think we're lucky. I personally think we're lucky to gotten the Solo that we got. I think out of the sandwich that he had, I think we're lucky to have gotten the quality that we. There were lots of good bits. I don't think it was a cohesive story, But I did. I love me some Chewie backstory of how they met, in the mud pit, and that was just awesome. And the train heist was also cool. I like that. But
all the supporting characters were cool. I honestly really like all the supporting characters.
Yeah.
It was an okay movie. That's the thing. I feel like I'm more of a Solo apologist than most, and I think Stormy's probably there as well. Like it's a decent film, but it's just not. It's not what we desired from a Han Solo movie, and I think that's the thing that I know Ron Howard came in to like fix the shit sandwich, but I would have rather have seen what the shit sandwich that amounted to.
I would have liked to see the shit sandwich. If it was a real, if it was like somebody said, that the way that the first 2 directors were handling Solo, it was going to be like Below Decks. It was going to be that kind of a humorous ode to that.
It's the Lego Movie, Into the Spider-Verse, and 21 Jump Street guys. Like hell yeah, like God. Well, that's who she hired. She hired those 2 guys to make the movie, and then is like, oh wait, you're not making the movie. Like you're making the movie you want to make. It's like, oh sorry, you hired directors to do their job. Like
Yeah.
But Peter, we were so naive about Star Wars quality back then. So, which sucks to say. Okay. But as bad as modern Star Wars and Star Trek and all these things may be, I sat down last night because now they're out. So I was like, I wouldn't watch the second one before the director's cuts came out. But I sat down last night and watched the first director's cut of Rebel Moon.
How was it?
Still just as bad, but
Okay.
I had hope going into it because the first 10, 15 minutes, like the new opening sequence, there's a longer opening sequence. That little like private, the kid that kind of becomes friends, the only one that doesn't die in the village, the little grain village, the one that kind of becomes friends with the blonde girl that's probably the princess.
Right.
The opening was about how he came into being a private for that, I guess, imperial army, which was cool. I actually really liked that sequence. There was no slow-mo and there was a lot of action, and I was like, there's action and Zack Snyder's not doing slow-mo? And then you cut to grain and you see like people sniffing sand or Korra sniffing sand in slow motion. You're like, just let her sniff some sand and keep going. Like, like we don't need her. Slow-mo on grain is not capturing,
Right.
But I think it's definitely more cohesive than the original version of it. It doesn't add quality, I would say, to the overall story, but it does make it with the added context. It was a 3 hour 20-minute versus like the 2 hour 10-12 minute of like the first version, but I feel like this one felt like 2 hours where the first one felt like 3 hours, in the sense of that first one you're like, what the hell is going on here? And this one, like, oh, okay.
I don't know what it is about this year, but there just seems like there've been so many disappointments in sci-fi. Is that your feeling too? I mean, as I watch something and okay, I was expecting lesbians for Acolyte and I didn't get them. I'm very disappointed. But it seems like we really haven't gotten an Expanse, and we haven't had an Expanse since the Expanse, and no one wants to buy the Expanse. So can I pitch a book?
Yeah.
Can I pitch a book? Okay, no, I'm not going to tell you anything about it. This is a book you got to read, but it got me excited about sci-fi. I'll see if I can get it up here. Can you guys see that?
Apocalypse M or just Apocalypse?
Apocalypse. Thomas Everson. It's available on Kindle. You can buy it in paperback through Amazon. Apocalypse, Thomas Everson. It was really, and I think the reason I liked it was really unique. I mean, It was really unique. And
is it new or is it a book that's been around?
Oh, let me see. I think it's not a 60s new. It's let's see. Come on, where does it tell me?
Ooh, Peter said the Vorkosigan saga is the best sci-fi book ever. I'm gonna write that down as well. The Vorkosigan.
Can you put that in the chat? Oh, there it is. Vorkosigan saga. Okay.
Who's it by? Peter. Because that'd be fun. Alden Ehrenreich was good in Hail Caesar. Yeah, he was. Oh, try and get me in trouble over here, David. Harris, do you still believe that Alden Ehrenreich is a better all-around and more varied actor than Harrison Ford, or have you come to your senses yet? So, Harrison Ford is
someone's wanting to start a fight. I'm just going to say someone's trying to start a fight.
But he's not a one-trick pony, and I think two things have proven that, but they are very recent. One is Shrinking on Apple TV. He can prove that he's good at comedy, more so than just like playing the straight man in a comedy, because Han Solo might be funny as hell, but he's the straight man. He's still very prim and proper, yada, 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 yada. And he plays off of situations to make things funny. Alden Ehrenreich, I feel like, is a more versatile or varied actor, might be the thing. But Harrison Ford's, he stands the test of time. He's a fantastic actor.
So let me just correct that. It is Apocalypse M is the title, and it was published in 2018. Oh,
cool. Because we should jump back into that in just a second.
That was all I had. Just, it made me excited because it was just different. It was just
in the sense of it's interesting sci-fi. Real quick, I'll finish this. is not. I think he has the potential to be just as good of an actor as Harrison Ford. I would think Harrison Ford's a better actor, but early Harrison Ford was great. The Conversation, Apocalypse Now, American Graffiti, those particularly. But I do feel like Alden Ehrenreich is a more varied and versatile actor in the sense that he's willing to take on projects that are different more. Where Harrison Ford is like, I'm still going to play. Alden Ehrenreich will fall into a character versus Harrison Ford will play himself and just an offshoot of himself as that character. You know, like Blade Deckard, President of Air Force One, Han Solo, Indiana Jones, they're all him. But Indiana Jones is the smart version. Han Solo is the scoundrel version. Han Solo's like the patriotic, like heroic version. Deckard is essentially like the cop version of Harrison Ford, you know, like space cop version. Fugitive, he's like, you know, you get the gist of it. He's a fantastic actor, amazing, yada yada yada. But I do feel like Alden Ehrenreich is more varied and versatile, and that's just with his choices, you know. Where Harrison Ford stands the test of freaking time. But anyway, okay, back to like sci-fi things that like this year has been disappointing. I feel like there have been maybe one or two like kind of interesting, cool things. But last year had so many great little small sci-fi projects or projects that you wouldn't have thought of. Two that come to mind are both are animated. One, Scavenger's Reign, which is maybe my second or favorite sci-fi thing that we've ever gotten. And then Pluto, I guess, the anime about like the origins of Astro Boy and all that kind of stuff, were both phenomenal. And there was a lot of really good sci-fi last year, I feel like, in kind of smaller TV shows for the most part. And movies. We had Vesper in 2022 and stuff like that. But 2024, God, off the top of my head, Dune 2 is probably the only like thing I've truly like enjoyed.
Yeah. When is 3 go into production?
That's not clear yet. Because Legendary and Paramount for Dune, right? No, it's Legendary and Warner Brothers. Anyway, Legendary said they have, because they have a few different films slated for Denis Villeneuve, and they want I think that they have a film slated for early summer of 2026 for Denis Villeneuve, and there's one of three options for it. First option is Dune 3. And that's what the studio wants. The studio's like, hey, well, we have the momentum. The second one made way more money than the first one. The third one probably will make way more money than the second one. Oh my God, brain fart. 3 options. First option's that. Second option would be to oh my God, brain fart. Literally just remind me what I was just saying. I looked over for half a second and saw Furiosa and Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and I was like, okay, those are 2 good ones.
Those are 2.
What were we just talking about?
Oh, now I'm forgetting. Oh my God. We're talking about the Dune 2. It has.
Oh. I'm back.
Okay.
So Denis Villeneuve has 3 projects. First option, obviously, Dune 3. That's what the studio wants him to do, is Dune 3. He was slated to make Rendezvous with Rama, another great sci-fi book.
Oh, fuck
which Denis set to make. Like it's gonna be. I honestly think
Can
Rendezvous.
You imagine that would just be.
It has the potential to be better than Dune.
Yeah, yeah.
But it has the potential to be, at least, you know. So we've got that. Dune 3, excuse me, and then the third option would be it's not War of the Worlds, but it's a similar title, and it's a book that was written in the last few years, and it's a scenario. So like literally the title of the movie and the book would be like scenario, a nuclear apocalypse or something like that, and it's a scenario about the nuclear apocalypse happening. Like
Right.
everybody in the war rooms having these conversations. Are we going to press the buttons, and what happens after you, and after you press the buttons, and during the time while you're pressing the buttons. And that one is the least likely option of the three, because that movie that Legendary has slated for him in 2026 has already said like the next Denis Villeneuve like tentpole blockbuster film. So it's most likely Rendezvous with Rama or Dune 2 or Dune 3, excuse me. But they could go that third route and utilize it just because Denis' name might be big enough for a blockbuster for anything. He's like a Christopher Nolan light, but I don't know if that's the more viable of the three options. Sarah, choose your own apocalypse. I forgot how many awesome movies Ford made. So many good ones. And Monk is saying they need to give the Dune movies a second. The book Dune Messiah is set years after Dune. Give the actors a chance to age a little bit. That's what Denis wants, but he's already changed enough from the books where I feel like that's what the studios are saying. Just change it more, keep them young. You don't need to go 27 years in the future or 17 years in the future, whatever it is. Also, it's a very different story from Dune or Dune Part 2. That's true as well. So that's the thing. Now we can think about it from Denis' perspective or the studio's perspective and say, obviously the studio wants to make money. Say, hey, we're bankrolling off of this right now. Denis says probably let me do Rendezvous with Rama first. I've been working on this script for a long time. But the studio took a chance with Dune. They're willing to take a chance with Rendezvous, but are they willing to take a chance right now? That's the question. We don't have answers just yet.
So many questions. Again, it's just we haven't had an Expanse since the Expanse. I know I'm preaching to the choir, and I know I'm bitching, and I'm the old man, and I'm telling everybody to get off my fucking lawn. But there needs to be somebody needs to pop up with some really compelling sci-fi.
Please.
Well, it's coming up on 11:30, and I'm gonna have to, at least in my time zone, I'm gonna have to skip out on you. I'm so sorry.
No worries at all. To wrap this thing up, you want to just say what we've watched for the week, and you want to start us off?
Okay, so mostly what I've done is I finished binging Star Trek Enterprise, and that was about all I've done this week. I got a new semester started, so I don't have as much time, and there was a new expansion pre-patch for Warcraft that came out, so I had to go do all that stuff, and it's just so I'm shitty.
Nah, that's good.
Oh, I did. I guess I did. I have to say I did finish. I did finish up Acolyte properly, and I started to go watch Evil, but I couldn't figure out what streaming service is Evil on. Is that Netflix?
It's not MGM Plus. It's an offshoot. It's Stars or MGM Plus or what is not what's the other one I'm thinking of? The one that Dexter's Showtime. That's it. I was like Showtime. Showtime. It's on Paramount. Okay.
So Sarah's on it with Black Sails. I've always loved the pirate genre, and Black Sails is awesome.
I've always meant to watch it, never did.
Oh, dude! Oh my God! You got to start today. Watch the first episode. Just watch the first episode today.
How many seasons is it?
Oh, was it
3 or 4? Huh?
4 or 5, something like
that. Okay. Just because I know you well enough where I think you would love what? Oh my God! Our Flag Means Death on HBO. Have you seen that?
I have not seen that.
It's a pirate show that it's about Blackbeard and Stede Bonnet. And if you're not familiar with actual history of pirates, you know what matey, the reason they said matey, right? And mate on pirate ships?
Yep.
It's because they were that's their mate. That wasn't their buddy. That was because they didn't have anybody else to do anything with on the ship.
There was some
some hanky panky going on.
Oh yeah.
So that being said, this is a comedy series, but it's more true to that aspect of it, and it kind of delves into it. It's not like Queer Pirates, but it's right up next door to it essentially. But it's a legitimately funny, good story. It's Taika Waititi and mostly acting as Blackbeard. Taika Waititi's Blackbeard,
and it's on HBO. I'll watch that this afternoon.
It's either 2 seasons or 3, but I think you'd really enjoy it.
Okay, I'll go watch a couple episodes today. So you go watch a couple episodes of Blackbeard and come back next week, and you just tell me what it is.
Okay.
But yeah, I love Blackbeard because he was. I grew up in North Carolina, and the Outer Banks was the home of Blackbeard. He had the story of Blackbeard. Oh my God, the real story of Blackbeard is just so entertaining. He had this encampment on Ocracoke Island, and once he got the grant to be a privateer from the Crown, he just kept sacking ships. And turns out he was in league with the governor of North Carolina, and the governor of Virginia was all pissed off about that and tried to go find evidence of it. And he found a barn that was owned by the governor of North Carolina full of salt that was stolen from a Crown ship in the governor's barn. And so he linked that back to Blackbeard. And so then the governor of North Carolina sent a mission off to kill Blackbeard, and that's where Blackbeard died in Shackleford Banks, North Carolina. And I've seen a lot of the relics from the ship in a museum in near Beaufort.
How old was he again? He was only like 28, 29, 30, huh?
Edward Teach, the real name of Blackbeard, was not he wasn't an old guy. It was I don't think I know he didn't reach 40. I doubt if he reached 35, but yeah, he was a crazy guy. He would, like, when he's coming up on some people, to grab a ship, he'd put fuse in his beard and light the fuse on fire, and it'd be this bellowing smoke coming out from behind his head as he's charging down. Oh, it was just Blackbeard.
I just Googled it. It said he's presumed to have been born in 1680, and he died for sure in 1718, so he's in that 35 to 40 range.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
so
I'm ready to
talk. All right.
I talk Western sci-fi fantasy all day, but when you bring up pirates, there's just something in there where pirates are so fun.
Pirates are fun.
I'll stay here for just a few minutes, so whenever you're ready to hop out, you go for it.
Okay, yeah, I got to run. Hey, you guys, I love being here. Good to see you guys again. Until next time. And love to Jay. Love to Jay.
Oh, wait, this way. The camera's so funky. I'll stay for just a few minutes. We'll stay for like 10, 15 just to keep talking in the comments and catch up.
All right. Take care.
See you, brother.
Bye.
What do we got? Thank you, Stormy. Thank you. And buttered scones for tea. We're still kicking for just a little bit. I'll just scroll up. I think there were a couple things. There we go. Been watching the Daryl Dixon show, Batman Cape Crusader, and the latest Apes film. I'm shocked I forgot about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, talking about good sci-fi from earlier. Rewatch of Penn and Teller's bullshit. I love it. I love Penn and Teller. I've been to Vegas many times, and I try to go once or twice a year, and I still have never gone to a Penn and Teller show, and it pains me to even say that because I love their stuff. He cuts down trees. He eats his lunch. He goes to the lava tree. On Wednesdays, he goes shopping. That's great. What was I just thinking? Captain Pugwash. That's great pirate stuff. Before your time, Harris. Captain Pugwash. I'll try to remember that one. I'll check it out as well. Cape Crusader. That's what I was going to say. So I did watch Batman Cape Crusader as well. What I watched this week was House of the Dragon, of course. I guess Acolyte is a week and a half removed by now. Deadpool and Wolverine I saw one more time just for the sake of it. I still feel the same way I felt about it. Then I watched Batman Cape Crusader. I watched What were we just talking about again? Oh, the Rebel Moon last night. Oh god. I mean, it's not awful. It was better than I remembered the first one, but it's still not good. They're just simple moments. You're like, who decided this? Like, obviously Zack Snyder has like all the control he wants, but somebody from the studio wasn't like, really, man, really, dude. Anyway, Batman Cape Crusader. And then, where's my cell phone? Is it not even in here? I need because I saw a few movies this week. The Trap! M. Night Shyamalan's Trap was my favorite M. Night Shyamalan in years. The third act is definitely the weakest of all the three acts, but M. Night is back. I actually really enjoyed his last few films, but I think this is my favorite one. Probably since before Old. I did enjoy Old a decent amount. Not House at the End of the Street. What was it? Cabin. What was the last one? The Cabin and something with Dave Bautista, Rupert Grint, and everybody. I've liked most of what Shyamalan's done in recent years, honestly. None of it's been as good as his old stuff, but it's all been fun and good stories. Not as great as his old stuff is what I should probably say. It's the proper terminology there. And yes, I do want to talk Batman Cape Crusader here. Caught Furiosa, Kingdom of the Planet, Cabin in the Woods. Of course it was that simple. I was like, Cabin in the Woods is a whole different movie. The Cabin in the Woods. Thank you, Donnie. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Monkey Man was awesome. Furiosa and Kingdom were good. Monkey Man was all right. I really enjoyed Monkey Man. I really enjoyed it. He'll never live that down either. But also, that new live-action Avatar wasn't great, and I think that has given him a little bit of leeway. Not for the CGI in that movie, but still. Okay, Donnie. I understand there are mixed reviews regarding Batman Cape Crusader, though I'm among those who are skipping that show. Nothing against J.J. Abrams, Matt Reeves, Bruce Timm, etc. Though I'm happy for those who love the new show, yet I'm sticking with the 92 animated series. Oh. Thank you. First couple episodes, I don't give a excuse my French. I guess we've been saying and cussing all stream, really. Hopefully not enough for YouTube to be mad at us. Excuse me. I don't really give a shit, excuse the French, about Barbara and Jim Gordon being like black. Why does that change anything, realistically? That's a change that makes sense. Like, that's a change that can make something better. I don't give a shit about the Penguin being a lady necessarily. I don't necessarily like the way they handled the Penguin in the show, but I don't think that anything had to do with being Oswalda instead of Oswald. I think that was actually kind of an interesting play on things. But I don't think it like, I don't think that was like some deal cutter. Excuse me. Where Batman Cape Crusader was not like a gripping show, it not once was like, I gotta tune in for season 2. After I watched the season, I was like, okay, I enjoyed it. It's decent. It is decent. I think it definitely gets better, and I really do like I guess the serial noir aspect of it. It feels like an older show. But it also feels like what Donnie was saying, the J.J. Abrams or the Matt Reeves, and I guess you got Bruce Timm and some other folks in there as well. But I think the biggest thing that holds me up is it doesn't feel tonally like one person making it. I'm like, okay, it's got moments of JJ, but mostly Matt Reeves. It feels like mostly Matt Reeves, and then there's moments of JJ, moments of Bruce Timm, moments of whoever the hell else. And I don't necessarily love the JJ moments per se, but I think the noir aspect Matt Reeves helped with, and or at least oversaw to some degree. I'm not sure by any means, but I like the noir aspect. I just don't necessarily think it is a gripping story. I don't necessarily like that I don't think they're truly killing off all the bad guys. There's probably a reason all of them survive in their own little ways and will show up again. But it feels like adult Gotham in a way. It feels like Detective Noir adult Gotham, the TV show Gotham. maybe say crap or shite. I've never crap. I don't think I really say crap. I don't know. You made me realize something about myself. That's a very simple word, and I tend to just say shit instead, or shite. Now that we talked to all our British folk the last few years, it's worked its way in my vocabulary more so than it already was, because I've always just watched like Luther and stuff like that, and just shite has always been the more fun way of saying it, But anyway, Cape Crusader, interesting one. What would y'all rate it? I'd probably give it a solid 5, 6. I think 6 out of 10. 5 is where my instinct goes to give it a rating, but I think 6 is more realistic. David said, I also saw a good little film called Jericho Ridge. Reminds me of both Assault on Precinct 13 films. Oh, cool. Jericho Ridge. That sounds familiar. I'm just Googling it real quick. Oh, if I can spell. Oh, it came out last year. I meant to go. I think I actually bought a ticket for this and wasn't able to go see it. What's that actress's name? She's so good. It's not Trimidemi, is it? Is that her name? Okay, I think I did buy a ticket and I just never saw it. Which I know that sounds crazy. I'm not just tossing $15, $20, $25 down the ring. Not at all. With Regal, like I've said before, I've got the Regal Unlimited Pass, which Regal sponsor us, because I tell people all the time, they go, dude, come on. But it's $23 a month, and every movie after is 50 cents. So it was just a 50-cent thing. It was just 50 cents. But yeah, I do want to watch it. Where'd you watch it? Is it on like a specific streaming service? Where were we at? Michael liked Precinct 13, was surprisingly good. I may be done with The Acolyte, but I'm ready for season 2 of Andor. Have no fear. My man, Donnie. Hell yeah, I'm with you. I loved Andor. It gets so much hate, and I get the AK-47 stuff. Just because like they have like modern guns that are totally just changed up to be a little more sci-fi. That doesn't mean it's not Star Wars. All the story is inherently Star Wars. It's so Star Wars it's not even funny. But just because it doesn't have a bunch of Force and frickin' Jedi, everyone gets so pissed off at it. I'm like, there's so much more to this world. Every time you were with a bounty hunter, you don't complain about that. We're with spies. Like, it'd be cool to have the Bothans come in and do some Bothan spy stuff and follow that. Maybe it's because we're following humans and a lot of humans, not many aliens in Andor. And that's my biggest probably holdup with Andor is the lack of aliens. But there's still trillions of humans in this galaxy, and they're totally spies as well. And humans made up the biggest part of the Rebel Alliance anyway, so it makes sense. Excuse me. Okay, a bunch of stuff just popped in. How many Avatar sequels will there be again? James Cameron has 5 already written. He plans on filming himself. He said the 4th and 5th, he might not film himself, but he wants to. But after that, I think he has either 7 or 8 planned out, and the last 2 or 3 would be someone probably like Rodriguez or anybody that is like an underling or worked under or worked with or alongside Cameron would be someone that we would probably see come in there. Maybe like a David Fincher would be a possibility, like Aliens to Alien 3 kind of deal. That would be really cool, but I don't think David Fincher's going to do Avatar. I think Rodriguez would love to do Avatar, also would be terrified to do Avatar. And thank you. You just took the words right out of my mouth. I hope Robert Rodriguez does Alita Battle Angel 2 instead of that, and they just jump into that world. But yeah, 5 for sure. 5 for sure. We don't know past that. We don't know for sure past that. We just know what they've said. And there are a couple comics and little graphic novels that have come out. I have 2 of them that lead into the second film, and I do enjoy them. I still need to get the third one for it, but yeah, Avatar is meh. I enjoy Avatar a whole lot for the world and world building aspects of it. I do wish I understand how long Jim Cameron took to make these films. He waited 15, 20 years to actually make them. And you can see that because he waited for the right technology, and damn, is it good looking. But during those 20 years, you could have worked on the script just a little bit more. It's not bad. It's not bad by any means. It's better than serviceable. It's good. But it's like one tier better than serviceable. I just wish, like, James Cameron has some great freaking dialogue and great story beats within his films as well. I mean, T2, Aliens, etc., etc. Like, that's what I would like to see apply to Avatar a little bit more. And I'm sure there are people that have tried to help, but he's like, hey, I've had this written for so long. Like, it is what it is. And I get that as well. But give us some great story. There are ways to, and I guess is everything so planned out for it that it's hard to really rework certain things. But hell, that would be the missing piece in Avatar. Jericho Ridge's Sky Cinema. Okay. Andor season 2 should be really interesting. Skarsgård is doing such. Any of the Skarsgårds. I mean, next Skarsgård project that is out is Bill Skarsgård's The Crow, which I'm excited for. But anything any of the Skarsgård family does is phenomenal. Who's the other brother? Obviously, there's Alex Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård, and then Stellan Skarsgård. That didn't happen. Okay, we're gonna forget about that right now. Stellan Skarsgård, Bill Skarsgård, Alexander Skarsgård. What's the other brother's name? It's doesn't it start with an S or a D? Doesn't it start with a D? It's not David, or it's not Donnie. Oh, I'm gonna have to. Oh, I don't want to Google it. I know it off the top of my head. It's gonna frustrate me. We're googling. Skarsgård kids. Gustav, that's his name. Sam Skarsgård is a brother. So, okay, I guess that was thinking, but I was thinking about Gustav. Gustav Skarsgård. He's done. Yeah. Thank you, Tony. The one in Vikings. That's who I was talking about. Yeah. I never watched Vikings. That's another one I need to watch. But yeah, the script is just because Pocahontas or Ferngully or whatever. Yeah. You haven't talked about Rings of Power season 2 trailer. We haven't. That's one we should have talked about while we had Stormy. It was pretty decent, but also it wasn't amazing, and I do think it's a little misleading, like you were saying. But I don't know if it's misleading in the way like it's going to be worse than we expect. I think it might be misleading that it's hopefully better than we expect. I guess the actress wanted to do other things, but I am glad that she's gone. The mother to the boy with the bowl cut, she's got a character that's essentially replacing her, but I feel like from what we've been told so far, at least, works better within the story. Because I get you want a great female lead for the show. Damn right, of course. But you already have Galadriel, and you already have the Queen of Numenor. Focus on that. I thought it's not. What was her name? Bruna, something like that. There's a Walter Skarsgård as well. I'm not familiar with him. Yeah, I don't know if her character was the character that's like, oh, that's Lord of the Rings right there. I felt like that was like a modern 21st century Marvel quippy character that's just like, I'm gonna wag my finger until we do the right thing, and then that right thing isn't necessarily the right thing. It's whatever that character's perspective on it is in the moment. Which I like that they're doing character perspective and not just like preaching something, of course, but like, hey, I write the characters that make sense for the story, not something that you want to add in there. And that felt more like something that was just added in there, where I feel like the character that's going to be replacing her seemingly seems like she's going to be a cool character that fits with everything. Harris, if you want to see an early Stellan Skarsgård, I highly recommend The Simple-Minded Murderer from 1982. Yes, I'm going to add that to my list because I'm only going to be here for a couple more minutes. And then we'll jump out of here. Chillin', Aaron, howdy, man. It's Alien Romulus month. Damn right. Nothing else matters. Nothing else. Mrs. Chillin says hi. Say howdy to Mrs. Chillin as well. Did y'all watch Batman Cape Crusader? Y'all watch that yet? I actually, before we hop out of here, I kind of want to see what you're thinking about it. That's what I was thinking of. A great Stellan Skarsgård movies, Insomnia. Yes, the Swedish original. I don't know. I've seen that one. Great movie. The Christopher Nolan version is good too. Okay, yeah. Because I was thinking Chris Nolan the second you said it. Yeah. Okay. Stellan Skarsgård, Insomnia, Swedish OG. All right. That don't sound shabby. That don't sound shabby at all. Yeah, I think that's really everything. Not yet, but I need to. Okay, yeah. I'm totally intrigued because we just talked about it a little bit. I thought it was good. I didn't love it. It not once did it like grip me, I think is what I was saying. Yet I enjoyed the noir aspect, and I feel like that was much more the Matt Reeves part of it. When it jumps into campy, when it jumps into like a little J.J. Abrams, maybe not as much. But yeah, it was decent. It was decent. I like the noir aspects. It just didn't grab me at all. Ooh, Monk. Okay, real quick. Justice for Steppen? Is that what you're saying? Steven Skarsgård, may you never be forgotten. What the hell happened? Steven Skarsgård? Nothing's popping up. Yeah, I don't know. My favorite Scandinavian actor is Mads Mikkelsen. Oh, he's. Hey, any Mads Mikkelsen or Skarsgård anything, I'm watching. If I haven't seen it, I am willing to watch it. You know. Terminator Zero. I don't think it's out. I know Melvin Sci-Fi Quest was saying the other day how excited he was about it. I don't believe it's out because didn't they just release that first trailer? Yeah, 3 weeks ago and 4 days ago. It's not out, is it? Release date. I should probably type that in instead of just the name of it. August 29th. Okay, August 29th. Cool. We'll keep our eyes out for that. Somebody's going to die. It's a Game of Thrones show. You can't always count on them killing motherfuckers out of nowhere. That's the truth. Hannibal. I've only seen bits of. He was amazing as Hannibal. You've already wiped Steven mistake from your mind. Stefan mistake. Okay, now I'm confused. I'm confused about the Skarsgård stuff. Yes, but who? Zordani. Don. Is that Power Rangers? Okay. Where was the question? I think it was Monk, right? Yep. Predictions for House of the Dragon Season 2, Episode 8, the finale, tonight, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Early in the morning for y'all British folks. Oh, yeah, that's 6, so that's what? 4 in the morning? Is that right? Or is it? Yeah. Because 4 is 2. No, that's 2 in the morning for y'all. Oh, no way. Oh, you said Stefan instead of Stellan. Oh, well, because he spelled it that way. I was still confused. I was thinking it was like one of his brothers or something. Yeah. I was working off of the spelling that was given to me. Here it is. Stefan Skarsgård. Stellan. Yeah. No, I love Stellan Skarsgård. There are not too many Skars. There are too many Skarsgårds to keep straight and interest. I don't know who's who half the damn time. I try. But they're all so damn good. There can be enough Skarsgårds. There's enough. There's enough Skarsgårds. Now back to a little House of the Dragon for tonight. Who are they going to kill off? It can't be Danny. It can't be. Oh, you know who they're going to kill off? No, I guess they. I was about to spoil something too. Y'all don't want me to spoil anything, I don't think. It was a bad joke. Let's forget all about it. It never happened. It was. I don't know if it was a bad joke or if it just went over my head and me not realizing it was a joke made it bad. But loved Alexander and True Blood. Damn right. It was so True Blood. A little Louisiana, you know. That's some vampires. I like me some. All of that. Yes, you know. There are plenty of Baldwins. Why not? You know. Yeah, honestly, they're the Skarsgård of the better acting, better versions of. Or they're not so American Baldwins. Good Lord, I'm just mixing everything up now. House of the Dragon tonight, though. I don't know if we're there in the story yet or not. You can imagine, and all the frickin', I guess, technically there aren't spoilers because everything's out there and been out there for a decade, and all the information's there. If you really want to know what's happening in House of the Dragon, you will know. There is a time when Aemond, the old Aemond One-Eye, Mr. Frickin' Joffrey 2.0, bites the bullet. I do not know if they're going to do that tonight. I think they might do it midway through next season. Would be my prediction if I had to do that. But I think there's also I would give it a 70-30 and 30% for tonight, 70% next season. But also I mean, yeah. The dichotomy in my brain in that right now is: do they save them for the finale of this season and make that the big woo-hoo-hoo, that brouhaha, you know, or do we make it halfway through next season and that's like your pivotal midway point where like, oh, okay, well, we had a couple episodes of setting up and now we're here, you know, probably literally smoked by Dragonfire. Maybe. Okay, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to see... Yeah, I'm with you, Monk. I don't think they do the Battle of God's Eye yet. Aemon's going to live. I think we still probably have at least half a season. Maybe that could be the end of next season. Aemon dying would mean another huge character dies. Yeah, but that character hasn't been doing a whole bunch this season, so, like... Yeah, you know? Y'all can guess who this other huge character dying would be. It may be Aemon's rival per se. If Aemon goes, does Vhagar go or get a new rider? I can't answer that question without telling you what the hell happens partially. And still, I've only taken the class. I have not read House of Blood in its entirety. I have not. But I took a Game of Thrones class, and we talked a lot about the backstories and the histories of all these different things. So I know a good chunk of it. And obviously, I watched videos about this shit too. So things come up. But I can't answer that question. Anyway, blame the characters' circumstances for that. Well, yes, I agree. I blame the characters' circumstances for the lack of a whole lot going on, but obviously where that... Oh, okay. So, not to tell you which character I'm thinking about or what character we're discussing here, but in the Riverlands, there is some stuff going on now. All right, forget I asked. I'll try to beat around the bush just a little bit. There's a Game of Thrones class. My only English college credit course was my Game of Thrones English course, and it was great. We went through the first 3.5 books and just did deep dives. We have to produce theories from all the context of what we've got, yada yada. I actually did that class before I started watching the show. Because I started in its 6th season and only watched the 7th and 8th as it aired kind of deal. Oh my god, where's your spoil bar? I don't know any of this. Okay, we'll put spoilers on real quick. Okay, there we are. That's awesome. What college? TCU in Fort Worth. I didn't stay too long. They weren't necessarily fans of me being a fan of the greenery per se, but it was a great time, great year there. Why beat around the bush? Anyway, yeah. Game of Thrones is amazing, but still Lord of the Rings first and foremost, always. But okay, House of the Dragon, Riverlands. I would think we see the Lannisters go horn frog, stay horny. There you go. I'm not like that's not my alma mater or anything like that. But if I had to support a college like sports wise or academically or whatever, I'd say go TCU is what I would say. I went to Lamar for a little bit as well, Lamar University in Beaumont, which is where I'm from. It's great. I did film stuff there. It's known as an engineering school, and I was not going for engineering and nursing. But yeah. Bit late now. TCU not being fans of the green? No way. Surprise. It was also Fort Worth, Texas, prior to anything being legalized anywhere, so the greenery was not something they were too fond of. They wanted me to come back, but also it was super expensive, and I was like, yeah, let me not spend that much every year and then go into debt for the rest of my life when I'm learning more of what I want to do by doing it, But anyway, for House of the Dragon tonight, I really think if I have to predict, I'm saying the Lannisters meet the Riverland and the Tully's war brigade, essentially. And while that's going on, we see the Dance of Dragons elsewhere. I think we see an actual battle there, and I think we will see the dragon fight, dragon battle, I guess is still the proper terminology, elsewhere. I think we see Rhaenyra she already tried to trick Vhagar and Aemond into going that way, and she tricked Vhagar. Aemond was like, hold up, this does not feel right. Turn around, Vhagar. Turn around, Vhagar. Vhagar's like, hell no, we're going to do this thing. We never not do this thing. And after a few more tugs, he's like, fine. Or she's like, fine, I'll turn around, Aemond. So they turn around. I think Rhaenyra is going to be trying to trap them again, or at least set them up in a situation that they cannot get out of. I predict that there's someone on Rhaenyra's council goes rogue and gets what's coming to him. And by prediction, expect this to happen tonight. Monk, I'm with you. I really do think that's the most likely thing to happen. I need to go. Thanks for the stream. I hope Jay gets well again soon. And Stormy, as always, is fun as hell. Fun AF. I don't know. Can I'll stop cussing. I've cussed a little too much this stream. Oops. I am from the swamp originally. I cuss like a sailor, but I try to be good for the interwebs, But yeah, I think this would be the truest prediction, most liable prediction to happen tonight. Besides that, for like the cool action scenes and stuff, I'm gonna say Rhaenyra is gonna do some dragon stuff, which the going rogue may play into a bit, and the Lannisters will meet House Tully and the rest of the Riverlands. Will they have Daemon and Craxes at their back? That's to be determined. Excuse me. But that is to be determined, and we will see that in a few hours. It's 7 hours away. What to do with myself for 7 hours? Maybe film a video or two for y'all for this week. Chaz just moved in. His computer's not set up yet, so maybe be a day or two before a couple more videos come out. We just need, the time for editing because Chaz is moving into a new spot, getting his computer set up in an office, etc., etc., etc. Okay, the showrunner said the Battle of the Gullet will happen next season, so they're building up to that. Will they have an on-screen battle better than Helm's Deep? I don't know. In House of the Dragon, they have the potentiality to do so. I still think Battle of the Bastards is, for specifically a battle sequence, I do say it beats out. As much as I frickin' adore Helm's Deep. If you're from the swamp, can we call you Kermit? Kermit's a frog. There's more toads in the swamp, but there's plenty of actually bullfrogs and stuff like that. Yeah. We grow when I grew up, or as I was growing up, whatever I'm trying to say. We'd go frog gigging every now and then. My family never was much into it, but whenever kind of got into high school and branches got out, all my buddies would always do it, and I started going with them. It was fun. House of the Dragon is more into the politics and the battles. Yes, and there are some big political conversations that very well may happen in this one. And I think that might be the people on Rhaenyra's council not being super happy with exactly what's going on. I think the Aegon, Larys, and Aemon little triangle of stuff going on is probably going to deepen in this, and we'll see what Aegon is set up for next season. Yeah. If Battle of the Gullet's happening next season, it's going to be a lot more dragon oriented, I guess, because that means I can't think of a land battle that's going to happen. And you know what's going to happen? I bet you in this episode, which Monk, you're with me on this, I hope, or tell me how you feel about this. Is I love Rhaena. Rhaena's a great character. I like the little actress they got for her, but Moon Dancer later on is not going to matter if Rhaena takes the place of Nettles. We need Nettles. Nettles, what's happening right now is, Sheep Stealer, the dragon that's out there, and in the Vale. I was like the Riverlands, the freaking thing that's in Game of Thrones before the Vale came to mind. The Sheep Stealer dragon that is in the Vale. Yes, there will be another dragon. That's totally happening tonight. We're totally getting Sheep Stealer, but I hope that we realize Nettles is the I think it is Sheep Stealer. It has to be, right? It has to be, because we've already seen Vermithor and Silverwing and Sea Smoke get their new rider. So we have to have Sheep Stealer come in now, and that may play into once they get Sheep Stealer, and if Rhaena flies Sheep Stealer back, because I hope it's not Rhaena. I love Rhaena getting a dragon, and obviously, whenever she gets Moon Dancer, it's not going to feel as strong because of that. There are 2 dragons they're waiting on, wild dragons. Yes, there is one more. Gotta go. See y'all next week. Bye, all. See you, Peter. Great having you. I'm about to get out of here. We've talked 15 minutes longer than I expected. We get into a little House of the Dragon, I get excited. But there are two dragons they're waiting on. They're both wild. I want that. There's a cannibal dragon that lives somewhere around Dragonstone popping up. That dude coming in would be absolutely freaking terrifying, but so cool to see. I don't know exactly how it would play into this episode. I would think cannibal, it would be somebody to bring in next season, but I'm not sure. And also, I am surprised as well that Aegon hasn't been out longer. In the books, he's out longer. I think they've done that. Well, also in the books, it's just a history, and history is written by whoever, yada yada yada, and it was House. It was Hightower that was, or House Hightower, House whoever the hell is doing it. It's a Hightower historian that wrote the histories for this, I believe. And they could have taken a little leeway by saying, "Oh yeah, there wasn't all this infighting going on. Aegon was out for this many more months or weeks." In the books, the history is secondhand. Yeah. So I'm thinking there's a little bit of leeway in that to a degree, or at least they can say there is, but I do think it fits better for the TV medium, at least. Oh, where's Puff the Magic Dragon? Hey, I'm Puff the Magic Dragon. that's a good. Hey, you want to give me a nickname? Call me Puff. I'll take it. Puff the not actually. Don't call me Puff. My mind went to P. Diddy after that. I was like, no. Scratch that in a big way. Negatory Ghost Rider on that one. But Puff the Magic Dragon, if you say the whole thing, I will be happy with. Puff, maybe not as much. That was a whole mental rabbit hole real quick. It was like, no, never mind. Okay, but yeah, no, the dragons are going to be great. I really do think, just thinking this through right here with y'all, that we're probably not going to get many. If there is a ground battle to be had, actually, what ground battle, Monk? Can you think of anything? I can't think of a ground battle that'd be happening right now. We might see. Oh, you know what we might see, because we might not get a ground battle, but we might see the Valerians and the Triarchy over there finally going at it a little bit again. You know, maybe, because I know Alan and Corliss are about to go on another, not voyage, but you know they're just going out and saying, hey, we're gonna do some fighting, yada yada. That might be it. That might be it. That might be our swords and stuff like that. But it wouldn't be a ground battle per se. It'd be an ocean battle. But I think that might be more liable, more likely. And I think that could go into play. Maybe Aemond is trying to break the barrier that they have in the sea that blocks off the blockade. Of course, that's the word I'm looking for. The blockade of ships that are blocking King's Landing off from getting new supplies, more supplies, etc., etc. That might be a thing, and maybe he tries to use Vagar and maybe a couple, not just Vagar. What is? Oh, I'm blanking on her name. God, what's Aegon's wife and Aemon and Aegon's sister? Sees the future. Oh God, no. I'm the encyclopedia of this stuff, and my brain's not working right now. Alicent's daughter. Why can't I remember her name right now? That's going to bug me. Anyway, if I can't remember her name right now, I'm sure as hell not going to remember her dragon's name. But the two of them going out, Aemond and sister, going out there with their dragons to fight the blockade, I think is possible, and probably more probable. Helena! Oh my God, thank you, Monk. That was going to bug the hell out of me if I couldn't remember her name. And Sunfire's not healthy enough to get back at it again, I don't think. I know Sunfire's going to come out there and do some stuff, but like I don't think Sunfire's going to really play a part in this episode, at least. The two of them, Aemond and Helena, going to destroy the blockade, and the blockade, the one who's seeing visions of, yeah. I feel like them going down to the blockade, Corliss and Alan saying, okay, well, we've got this. Oh, God, they're dragons. Maybe we don't got this. And then maybe Rhaenyra and her fleet of dragons shows up, you know? That's my guess. I don't know. I'm spitballing. I don't, because the histories aren't necessarily super clear either. So there are things that can just happen. And we'll see what actually happens. I am pumped for it. I hope y'all are pumped for it as well, because we shall be talking about it this coming week. And, you know, we're a sci-fi channel, so we won't make a video about it per se, but we sure as hell will be talking about it next Sunday. And that's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. We very well may even title the stream about that and just talk about that for the most part. I'm so pumped. I'm actually, the more we're talking about it, the more excited I'm getting. But before I forget, y'all, don't forget to do us a favor around here. Thank you, first of all, for doing us a favor, staying around as long as you have. But while you're here, you might as well. You know, just to be good and all. The books are also kind of vague on some of the details, so I hope George R.R. Martin is involved. Yeah, I'm with you. He's had a few iffy or interesting comments, I guess, about his involvement with the series, but he obviously enjoys it and has been involved a little bit more than at least the last few seasons of Game of Thrones. So, come on. Yeah, but that's all I've got for you today. We're 2 hours, 14 minutes. We'll stay here for about 30 more seconds till we can hit that little logo number one more time and say, this is it. This is our finality. How old is George R.R. Martin? Okay, real quick. He is 75. Wow. I actually thought he was going to be like 70 or 72. 75. I don't know why 3 years makes that sound like so much later or longer or whatever, but yeah, he's still got a few years. Just give us the Winds of Winter, dude. Give us the Winds of Winter. Anyway, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. Hit the like button. Come on, y'all. Come on. What are y'all doing? Jamie even came in here and talked to Orville for you. Come on. I was too lazy to check on Google. My apologies. No worries at all. That's what my fingers are here for. And I bet you can hear my typing because my microphone's right next to that typing too. But that is all for me today. I do appreciate the hell out of all y'all. Thank y'all for coming and hanging out. We'll see you throughout the week. There are things to be talked about, things to be discussed, and we shall be discussing them. I'm pumped for tonight for House of the Dragon. Let us know down in the comments how you're feeling, all that good stuff. But we out of here. Have a great day, y'all. Have a great rest of your weekend. Have a great week. Adios.